The time has come that everybody has been waiting for since the show started, because it isn't until sports are taken out of your life that you really get a chance to reflect about how big sports were to your life and the athletes that make sports great. So this morning I made my top 10 most favorite athletes of all time list. Let's start with number 10. Thomas Snacks Lee. Yeah, he might have just came into the world a week or two ago, but number 35, the college basketball equipment manager who got a chance to get in on senior night and won absolutely drip, drop, splash from the logo, basically. Thomas Snacks Lee checks in at number 10 for me. He called himself Fat Durant at one point. That added about 10 to 15 more points. Kevin Durant actually signed a jersey and sent it to Snacks. Snacks is going to take over the world. I can't wait to watch. He's number 10. Number 9, AJ Burnett. This pitcher who won multiple World Series and was paid $155 million over his entire career with Toronto, the Yankees, and then a retirement tour at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Came on to my list of favorite athletes of all time one night on Station Scare, which is a bar area in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There was a bar called Buckhead Saloon, and I was in there having the time of my life. I looked around. They were asking everybody to leave. The lights came on. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I was told I could stay, and there was a 6'4" man that I had been drinking with for the last hour but had not spoken to. We had just been buying drinks back and forth to each other. We started drinking. It was me, him, a couple of his friends, a couple of my friends. I looked at the clock. It was like 3:30, 4 a.m. We walk out of there, okay? I'm like, well, that guy's a legend. Good for those people. Got his name. His name was AJ. Next night, we went to the Pittsburgh Pirates game. It was AJ Burnett bobblehead night. He was the starting pitcher. I was drinking with that man until 3, 4 in the morning, and then he was the starting pitcher of bobblehead night at the Pittsburgh Pirates game in PNC Park the next night. He had already won a World Series by that point a couple times. That automatically puts you in the list of my favorite athlete. He got shelled that night. Many people were blaming me. I blame the ownership of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Number 8, another legend, Sebastian Janikowski, kicker from the Florida State University and Poland, who would obviously go on to the Oakland Raiders and become a legend in everybody's eyes for numerous party reasons. At one point, he was addicted to Rooflin. He had been all over the place party-wise, and he would show up every single Sunday for the Raiders and bomb footballs. There's legendary stories about when he was a child kicking a soccer ball and knocking over a soccer net in Poland. The Polish cannon took over America. And also, after I got in trouble for my alleged incident, and I was deemed the drunk kicker, drunk punter of the NFL, and I was given the bad rep, Sebastian Janikowski came over to me. He said, hey, thanks, man. And I go, for what? He goes, get off my back. And I laugh at that. And then I asked him about the substance of abuse program that was testing me 8 times a month for 27 months. I was like, man, I can't do anything with this substance of abuse program. And he says to me, go on cruise. What they do? Test on boat, fly to boat. And I was like, good call. So I took like 5 cruises that offseason. Big shout out to Sebastian Janikowski. Number 7, this one's going to blow a lot of people's mind, but I think he took over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilberg. Please play the Gilberg clip.
Hey, it's great to have you on the RV, Gilbert. You look incredible. What have you been up to, man?
Sorry for the radio people. That was me and Gilberg in the front of an RV. That RV would eventually get its top taken off at MetLife Stadium by the worst RV driver in history, Cuban Zete. Let's go! Well, hello there. Utilize the promo code PAYTHEBILLS and get $20 off your first order from SeatGeek. Now, back to the magic. Only costs about $45,000 in damage. Don't worry about that. Good for the company. Number 6, Kimbo Slice. I used to, as a child, go on to dial-up internet and watch him just beat the hell out of people in their backyards, his backyards, wherever. Rest in peace to Kimbo Slice. Absolute legend. Number 5, John Daly. This guy, blue-collar hero, all right? Blue-collar golfer from blue-collar town. Don't know what he lost. Doesn't know what he's found. This guy will smoke more cowboy killers than you. He will drink more Miller Lights than you, and he will beat you in golf 10 days out of 10 days, unless it's a day where he's not feeling too great from the amount of beers he had the night before. John Daly, living legend, not only, loudmouth golf into John Daly's, which is an Arnold Palmer adding alcohol. This guy, Arkansas, just has a good time, enjoys his life, and has good people around him. We got a chance to hang out with him, good friend of ours. John Daly, my favorite athlete of all time, number 5. Number 4, Jeremy Lin, strictly because he cashed off of 2 weeks of greatness. 2 weeks of greatness. Linsanity took over the entire world in New York. The Garden was getting sold out again very quickly. People were running in to watch the Knicks, and then he made the rest of his money just drifting off into irrelevance once again. Jeremy Lin had one of the best 2-week runs in the history of mankind. Top 10 favorite athlete of all time for that. Number 3, this guy was a clutch performer. Nobody talks about this enough. People say Adam Vinatieri is clutch. I agree. Most clutch human in all of sports. But don't get it twisted. When Joe Cooper needs to step up and drain a shot, he will step up and drain a shot. Even when he's getting distracted by relationships and business and BS, Joe Cooper from the Milwaukee Bears will step up and drain a shot in any basketball game that needs to happen. Number 2, the hick from French Lick, Larry Bird. Number 33 for the Celtics. He was obviously on the Olympic team. I mean, you're just talking about great at everything. Wanted to quit basketball because he wanted to go back and cut grass at his house, basically. Then he went to Indiana State, took them deep into the NCAA tournament, goes on to the Celtics. He's just legend, great human, will smoke more cigarettes than you and drain more shots than you on a regular basis. And he sent us a cease and desist just a week ago. Kind of a savage move. I guess I respect it. And number 1, our favorite athlete of all time here at the Pat McAfee Show. A man who we lost too soon, literally. A guy that was on our show was talking about how he was going to turn his whole life around, get healthy and everything like that. The hefty lefty, the Pillsbury throw boy from Kentucky, my top favorite athlete of all time, Jared Lorenzen. Jared Lorenzen could throw a football 95 yards. 95 yards if he wanted to. He could run over any defensive tackle if he wanted to. And he had this swagger about him that was uncanny. When he came on our show, he was hilarious. He looked like a guy who could drink more beers than you. He could throw a football further than you. He could tell a story better than you. He was tougher than you. And he was a guy you'd want to be boys with. Rest in peace to Jared Lorenzen. And rest in peace to my top 10 favorite athletes of all time list, because that thing is now done.